Marijuana, cannabis, pot, weed, whatever you call it, this substance is illegal and criminalized in America. This should not be the case. Marijuana should be legalized and decriminalized in all 50 of the United States for the following reasons. Number one, the economic and financial advantages of legalizing marijuana. Number two, to uphold the consistency and legitimacy of the U.S. law. Number three, the effects of decriminalizing this stigmatized substance. Now, without further ado, I will now persuade you to join me in helping legalize marijuana in the United States. My first point, the economic and financial advantages. There will be a huge number of jobs produced to help sustain the marijuana market. As such, the economy will be stimulated, and in that same token, the same way that the federal and state governments have been placing taxes on tobacco and alcohol products, so too can they exercise taxes on marijuana products. In fact, according to Charles Zah, a writer for the Econ Review, the article High Economy, Impacts of Marijuana Legalization on the U.S. Economy, published on December 21st, 2020, and accessed on May 5th, 2020. Since its legalization in 2016, the state of California is able to collect a 15% state tax excise on retail cannabis sales, totaling $845.3 million in tax revenue for the third quarter of 2019 alone, thus proving just how much money and economic stimulation would result from the simple legalization of marijuana in the United States. Moving on from the economic and financial advantages, let's talk about the consistency of the U.S. law. As stated, marijuana should be legalized to ensure the legitimacy and consistency of the law. Firstly, tobacco and alcohol being legal in all 50 states but marijuana not is simply hypocritical and does not make sense to govern the states, because marijuana is not as dangerous or addictive as tobacco and alcohol, yet it is illegal. By that same token, if it is legal to possess and own firearms, then so too should it be legal to purchase and consume marijuana. As stated by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, sourced by the National Center for Health Statistics, published March 1st, 2021, and accessed March 10, 2021. In 2019, the number of alcohol-induced deaths, excluding accidents and homicides, 39,043. And the number of cigarette smoking deaths, 480,000 deaths per year in the United States. This reveals just how inconsistent the law is in enabling its citizens to obtain such dangerous substances, but outlawing cannabis, something that is not nearly as dangerous. Now let's move on from the consistency of the law to the results of decriminalizing this stigmatized substance. As a result of legalizing and eventually normalizing marijuana, the stigmatized substance will no longer be considered illegal and dangerous. Thus, those in possession of it will not have to fear for persecution or arrest, specifically those in low-income families. Those in low-income families will no longer have to fear for their lives for the simple possession of marijuana. Finally, in the video entitled Pardons Now Available for Canadians Convicted of Simple Cannabis Possession, posted by the Toronto City News, released on August 1st, 2019, accessed on May 10th, 2021, the Federal Justice Minister David stated, "The federal government has introduced Bill C-93, which enables Canadians to obtain a free, no-wait pardon for simple possession of cannabis. Instead of waiting 5 years and paying a parole board $631, applicants will no longer have to wait a single minute and not owe the board a single cent. This, by the Canadian government, is the perfect example of what should be done to decriminalize and legalize marijuana in a result to help those that have been persecuted by marijuana. Let them be pardoned. Let them start anew." Let me move on from the results of decriminalizing the stigmatized substance to the conclusion. As I've just stated, marijuana should be legalized in America. It should be legalized and decriminalized in America for the following reasons: the financial and economic stimulation and advantages, to uphold the consistency and legitimacy of the U.S. law, and the results of decriminalizing this stigmatized substance. So now all that's left is your vote. Help America achieve canna bliss Do your part and vote so that America can become green again. Thank you and have a great day.